Good evening and welcome to Motivational Monday with Luann B. Happy Halloween. Apparently it is very scary to get online and talk to me. I've always wondered why people are scared of me. I'm 4'11" if you haven't met me in person. And some people would tell me I'm stretching it on that. I'm 4'11", blonde, female. I am a little vocal. I'm a little bold. I say it like it is. I say it like I see it. So I'm very direct to people, but I'm not scary. I'm not scary. I'm actually very loving, supportive individual. In fact, one of my passions is to serve everyone with love in my heart. Be in loving service to others is my mission. And that's what I'm doing these calls for, is to be there for people who are struggling, who are having a bad day. And we all have bad days. And we all need coaches. And we all often fail to invest in ourselves. I was just working with a client who paid me in full for business coaching in July, and then allowed the business and everything else happening in his life to keep him from our appointments. And he was struggling significantly with all the challenges and changes happening in his business, but those things got his attention instead of seeking support from someone else. And I'm cautioning you, that's the scary part, right? That's the scary part. When we fall into that trap of staying in the struggle of life and trying to fight through it by ourselves and avoiding asking for help and buckling down and bullying through. That's what 98% of people do. Maybe more, maybe less, whatever. A majority of people do that. We bully through and go, I got to figure this out, or people are going to think I'm not successful, or people are going to think I don't know what I'm doing, or they're going to question me professionally. And I'm here to tell you, even I do that on days, right? Even I do that on days. And I am vulnerable and struggling sometimes just like all of you. That's why I have my own coaches to help me through, and my own support system in friends that I can call upon. I just met this woman. I met her a couple weeks ago, but on Saturday she worked an expo with me, and she has a philosophy that she calls sparkle. So, right, she's synonymous with me, the little spark, right? They'll know with her right away, of course. And she's challenged, has had challenges with mental illness, and wants to boldly be out there having a conversation about the fact that we all need to check in with our mental okayness, with how are we feeling emotionally and doing today, and be open in conversation about that. The client I just met with, same struggle, has some level of mental illness challenges, and wants to talk about it, wants to tell the world that I am dealing with this and I'm okay, and I need your support and I can get through it. There's an interesting thread that's running through my current clientele that's very fascinating. And anyway, the sparkle, so I don't get sidetracked, her philosophy is look for one thing in your day that sparkles. That might be the glisten in someone's eye. That might be the stars overhead. That might be the headlight from someone else's car. It might be glistening sun on the water. Whatever you see that catches your eye and says, oh, it's a sparkle. And a sparkle is good and positive and sweet and beautiful, right? And then remember consciously, let that trigger you to say, how am I doing today? How am I doing today? Am I in a positive space? Or am I challenged somewhere? Do I need some kind of support? And if I say, yeah, I'm struggling today, I don't feel so good, something's not right, then you evaluate what level of discomfort is that at. Is that at, I need to go and meditate and get myself back to center? Some can do that. Is it at a level where I need to find a friend? I need to phone a friend. I need to call someone and say, I need to talk, right? Or is it more severe than that? Do I need to call my doctor, my therapist, my coach? Do I need to take myself into the emergency room? At what level am I at? I heard a great presentation recently by the executive director of NAMI, which is the National Association for Mental Illness. And she said, at any point in time, we are all on the continuum of mental health. Some of us may be more challenged than others, but we are all on a continuum of mental health. And so some days, even I, right, I'm struggling more than others, as may you, or less than others, right? Consciously aware, acknowledge it, and what am I going to do about it? Am I going to call a friend, call a coach, go to the doctor, do a meditation? Do I need some medications? Whatever that might be. I want to help open up those conversations by again admitting that I am vulnerable too. And I can have bad moments just like anyone else. People often view me as absolutely positive, and I try to be uplifting and positive all the time, but there's a lot of pressure in that too. There's a lot of pressure in that too that says, historically, I would have said, I have to be happy. I have to be upbeat. I'm the passion lady. I'm the little spark that gets everybody else up excited and brings joy to other people. And I do that. But I do things. I have challenges as well, like everybody else. And I need my moments to reset and recenter. And so I use my tools. In the passion test philosophy, we call it nature's guidance system. Notice how you're feeling. Pay attention to it. Take action in the direction of how do I shift and change it. Oh, stop and breathe and analyze it, right? Okay, like the sparkle, just to breathe. How do I feel about it? Communicate how you're feeling with other people and be vulnerable, be open to it. So it's emotions, as my coach Tanya would say. Emotions are energy in motion, and they are signs of something's going on with us. Something's going on with us. They're God's tools to letting us know that we need to stop, pay attention, listen to what's going on for us, and we can make a shift when we want to. And I'm recording this call, but someone is interrupting me over here. And so I'm going to take a minute because you all understand that I have family just like you do. So what's up, honey?
I'm leaving.
Thanks.
Have a lovely evening.
So as you see, we're preparing for our Minnesota Vikings game tonight, and my husband had to let me know what he was up to for the rest of the evening. And so I will meet him later for that, which I mentioned on my email today, by the way, that some people think I should be doing these calls later in the evening, and I'd love to hear from you about that. If that would be easier for you, then I'll work to shift and change on that and have them later in the evening. But it is football season, and particularly tonight, my Minnesota Vikings are playing the Chicago Bears, and so I will be attentively watching the game and supporting my favorite team. So I'm human, just like you, right? Have a family, interrupts when I'm trying to record a call. I have vulnerable moments. just like you do. I have days that I just need to cry. And I use that tool too, because we need to release those emotions and just let them go, right? Buried feelings never die. Buried feelings never die. And they come out in various ways of ailments in our body. I have a dear chiropractic friend who uses those and has a book that says that buried feelings never die. And if I have a pain in my shoulder, I have a pain in my hip, we'll go into the book and we'll find out what is that, right? Once she told me these pains I was having in my back, that I was carrying other people's burdens. How many of us do that? How many of us carry other people's burdens when they're not really ours? So buried feelings never die. Let them out. Don't cover them up. I don't care if you're a happiness coach or, the most positive person in the world. We all have our moments when we are vulnerable, when we are hurting, when we are struggling with something. And then I feel the feeling and I think about why it's happening. Is it true? Is it something I need to be suffering with? How can I shift and change out of it and use the tools? Meditation, prayer, music, dancing, as my coach Tanya would use, right? What are those tools for you? So life can be scary. It's Halloween. Using the scary theme because of that. Normally not a big Halloween fan, but I will use the scary theme and I admit and acknowledge that life can be scary. But what we say in the passion test is that when you're following your passions, the ups and downs of life fail to throw you completely off track. Because we have guiding forces, guiding tools, guiding lights, our passions, to help us come back on track and know ourselves and follow that, we can come back. It's like water on a river, right? You're going down, you're going to hit some rapids. You're going to hit some rapids. You're going to maybe hit a waterfall now and again, right? But you can pick yourself up again and get back on track and into the flow of your life. And that's really, what I want these Monday night calls to be about, is to be about helping people in that moment when they might be struggling to get a voice of support, of inspiration, of love, of kindness, of joy, right? To help shift them in that moment. This my client said to me this afternoon, since we last met a week ago, he's been struggling. He's like, but you always make me feel better when we have our conversations. And so I will continue to meet with him weekly because that's the frequency of support that he needs. That's the frequency of support I think a lot of people need. Historically, my coach will tell you, every Sunday night, I'd be full of anxiety. Every Monday morning, anxious, afraid, struggling. Oh my gosh, I have so much to do this week. Oh my gosh, what did I get done over the weekend? Oh my gosh. And putting this whole weight of the world back on my shoulders every Monday. And I believe that I have stepped out of that. And now I want to help you step out of that by being here on Monday evenings for you and sharing sweet, powerful, motivational messages with you. So let's talk about a few of those. Okay? Let's bring some fun. Here. This should be my costume. If I had a costume tonight, this should be my costume. See? The little heart-shaped hug guy. This is your brain on hugs. Okay? So, another great tool. Go hug someone. If you're feeling badly, go hug someone. A hug given is a hug received. You get to have one too. And it will lift your spirits immediately. It increases some hormone that I can't think of right now in your body. It helps you to improve your mood. So if you're feeling badly, just ask someone for a hug. This is your brain on hugs. Your brain will be fired up because you got a hug. You'll think more clearly. You'll be in a better state of mind and peace just because you got a hug. A hug given is a hug received. So there you go. Think of me on Halloween wearing this costume. I think I'm going to have to go design it for next year. It's pretty simple. I think I could figure out something to do for that. Huh? Yeah? Any artists out there? Any seamstresses that can help me put that together for next year? Because actually I'd probably use it all year long. And go around hugging people. That's what I do. Reminds me my hug button is missing. I'm going to have to go find it. Okay? So, another thing I was talking to my client about tonight is all the things we worry about, right? And worrying is the opposite of faith. When we worry about things, we are saying we have no faith. We are questioning that God is taking care of all of it for us when we're worrying. Think about that, right? For us, God-fearing people, not in fear of God, God-loving people, to think that we would question God's wisdom is, whoa, back up. I have no desire to question God's wisdom, right? So stop worrying and have faith. It's all going to turn out in its perfect and right timing in God's perfect plan. So, couple of quotes on faith I wanted to share with you tonight. Faith, I read backwards. Faith is daring. Faith is daring the soul to go beyond what the eye can see. Faith is daring the soul to go beyond what the eye can see. Think about it. Absolutely. We have to put faith. And soul is centered when we're in faith. Right? We feel peace when we're in faith. And we're in our soul. Okay? It's more than our eyes can comprehend right now. And remember what I've said before about our heart is triggering signals to our brain. Our heart, our emotions are triggering signals to our brain. And then we see it. So we have to believe it first, and then we will see it. We have to believe it first, and then we will see it. Not see it, and then believe it, right? There's that old myth. Seeing is believing. No, we have to believe first, and then we will start to see the results. We have to believe first, and then we will start to see the results. When we are clear what we want will show up, and only to the extent that we're clear, because we have to see it first. No, we have to believe it first. Messing up on you. To believe it first, and then we'll be able to see it. So there you go. Let your faith be bigger than your fear. Let your faith be bigger than your fear. Faith over fear, every time. So with that, on this scary evening of Halloween and talking about fear, I just want you to remember, it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to have struggles. Please don't judge yourself. Please know that we all have those things going on. And then step through it consciously and use the tools to help you move forward with faith over fear. Let your faith be bigger than your fear. And next week, no fear about coming online with me and having a conversation, whatever's going on for you. We'll chat about it and we'll reframe it to help you move forward and have a positive week supported with loving coaching. So thanks for joining me tonight, virtually or otherwise, listening to me whenever you do. Always appreciate it. I know you're out there listening because I'm getting feedback on Facebook and so forth. So I appreciate your listening. But I'd really love to talk to you live. So no fear. Come in faith next Monday night, 6 o'clock, and let's have a conversation about what's challenging you. Be vulnerable and open up to it, and then we can move it on. Thanks again. Have a happy Halloween with no fear and no scariness. Good night now.